Hello guys. So I think I have been working on this video since the beginning of the season. Um, like many players, I like to get Primal gear. I think it's exciting, and it I don't know, it just kind of feels good, and maybe it's a bit OCD, but it feels good to get one character with a bunch of primals or even full primals. So I've been wanting to try it out during the season and see uh, what worked best to get more primals, any primals, and to get specific primals so that I could get my build set up. And I wanted to share that information with you guys in the end of the season. And I know I've promised this video a while ago, and I'm sorry for the people that have been waiting for that long. Uh, I think I'm probably going to forget a lot of things that I have to say. So there's probably going to be a part two. If there's anything that you guys want to know about or something I missed on the video or any questions, please just leave a comment. But I'm firstly going to talk about how you can get just lots of primals, and then I'm going to talk about getting specific primals because those are different things. Um, So let's see how many primals I mounted on this season. Um, let's see here. Okay, uh, just just to give it a final number, it's 155 or 156. But if you want to count here with me, it's 5 rows of 10 here, so it's 50. Then you have 10 more here, so that's 60. Here you have another full inventory. This is 2 slots. So if you add this one up and this one up, both are full with 2 slots. That is 70 plus 60, 130. Then this one here, it's 771, 15. That's 145. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 155 primals that I've gotten this season. So one thing that I gotta share with you guys is the amount of time that took me to get these primals. So just let's go here on my profile. I've mainly played the Necromancer this season, but I've actually started out with the Witch Doctor. So as you can see on the Necromancer, I've amounted 193 hours, which is actually not that much if you compare it to players that really compete on the season. Then you have my barb. Uh, my barb, I pretty much mainly made this barb for getting my gloves, the stone outlets. But I actually decided to try out, play a little bit with it, especially to get the keys doing rifts and also spending shards on Kadala for the gloves without having to switch characters. So yeah, 20 hours, which is not a lot. Then on my wizard, that I decided to make a wizard because Veers was doing so well. It was good to farm Paragon, and I found out it was actually fun to play with. So it's 140 hours, which is pretty close to Necromancer. Then you have my Witch Doctor here, which was the class that I initially made, and I amounted 107 hours here, as you can see. So it's around 350, 450. It's okay, less than 500 hours. Okay. Um, this is not a lot of Paragon uh, if you look at the amount of hours I've put in. Uh, but I really hate to farm Paragon levels. So yeah, that was not my goal this season. I like to push early for that. If I want to push the leaderboards, I do it like on the third or fourth week. It's when I play the most, because I know after that I'm just gonna fall behind because I'm not willing to put time on Paragon. I actually play a lot more solo than I do with groups. Uh, so yeah. Yeah, I guess you guys saw that I'm missing some pieces on my other characters. It's because I put all my primals either on my chest or in the character so that I could count them with you guys. All right, now let's talk about how we get any primals. How do we get primals in the game? Firstly, what you have to do is unlock primals on your character or the season or out of season. Uh, you have to complete a jar 70 solo to unlock primals, and you have to do it every season, and it is independent from season and outside of season. So if you play outside of season and in season, if you complete the GR 70 in season, you unlock primals for in season, and then you have to do a GR 70 or higher outside of season so that you can unlock primals outside of season as well. When the season ends, just remember to go. You're probably going to do it or anyway. I mean, it's GR 70 is nothing right now, so you can just like do it GR 100 and 120, and you're gonna unlock primals anyway. Okay, how rare are primals? Primals are very rare. Um, so you have like a people say a 10% chance of a legendary rolling ancient. Uh, Blizzard initially said that it was like a 10% chance of an ancient being the primal. People over the course of many seasons, they got kind of tried out and calculated how many legendaries you would need to find a primal. So this is looking at extremely large numbers, an average. I think it was like around 450, 500. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on the comments, but it's around that number. Uh, and it's not very relevant, and I'm going to tell you why in a while. So, um, what you can expect during the season is that you find in the end of the season for every 500 legendaries or so, you're gonna probably find um, one primal. But um, like I said, that was considering extremely large numbers. So let's say that you would play a lot for a day on the weekend or like both days on the weekend. And let's say you played, I don't know, it's not a lot for players, but okay, you played 16 hours, you found, I don't know, 3,000 legendaries, and you should have gotten 6 primals, but you got no primals, or you got 1 primal, or you got 13 primals. It's all possible, you know, and that's how it works in the game right now. It You could be like a week without finding a primal, which is kind of hard if you really try to get primals and do what I'm gonna teach you in this video. But it is possible. I think the most amount of primals I got in one day was around 7 to 9. I don't remember if I actually got 9, but I definitely got 7, and I think I got 8 or 9 once. And I've also, like, I think there was a week that I was not in the mood for farming primals, and I wasn't in the mood of really just playing to do anything. I just wanted to play to have fun when I wanted to play. So I think I spent like 4 days without finding a single primal. You can kind of measure that, you know. So uh, in average, I'd say that playing, I don't know. I think in average, I would get 1 primal every 3 hours, and I would usually get 2, 3 primals a day, or at least 1 primal a day. And in like bad days, you get no primals. In good days, you get 5 primals. In amazing days, you get 7 primals or more. So 155 primals, and I've played like for 50 hours, so it's one primal every 3 hours. But it doesn't really work that way because I've done a lot of things this season, and sometimes I played just because I wanted a specific primal, and sometimes I played because I wanted a primal, but just because I wanted to see a damn thing drop. And other times I pushed, I don't know, I just kind of talked to people. So it's probably a way higher number of primals. I probably could have gotten over 200 primals if I wanted this season, but I don't think it's worth it, really. I'm going to talk about that in the end of the video. Okay, so the best thing you can do to get primals is to get a lot of legendaries, because it's kind of like getting a lot of lottery tickets. Uh, you just have there's no other way. I mean, you can't cheat the RNG. It's I mean, random is ignorance. There's just something inside the game that makes an item being the primal, and you don't know what it is, and there's no way of you knowing what it is because it's not free information, and so you just eventually you're gonna find it. And one thing that I really like saying is that it's not really you shouldn't care about percentage. Like let's say it's 0.2% chance you get a primal. Uh, no, yeah, yes and no. Okay, it's kind of like 50% because it either is or it isn't, and you're gonna have times that you just try an item like upgrade rare and it's a primal on the first time. And you're like, wow, yeah, that's lucky. And other times you're gonna like upgrade 1,000 rares and you're not gonna find anything. So yeah, um, okay. In the beginning of the season, the first week, second week, or I don't know, depends on how much time you play. You are going to be using bad gear, and you're going to be looking for gear anyway. Um, so what you really want to be doing is finding a lot of legendaries anyway. Uh, the best there are two good ways of getting a lot of legendaries right now. One way is doing rifts because you now have you have T16, which we didn't have before, and the other thing is doing fast GRs. And this is going to depend on what class you do. I don't know what the best class is. I play the Necro a lot. I know about the Necro. I don't know about all the classes as well as people that are used to those classes. I think you can do it with any class, really. If you like the class and you know how to play the class and you have a good build, you can do it with any class. I just think the Necro is the best one. Uh, and what I can do is I can do rifts like anybody, which is something that you're probably going to do a lot at first. I would recommend you doing that a lot. Uh, and let me show you something, okay? This is how many keys I have. So you can have an idea of how many rifts I did. It's very good doing rifts for getting primals and getting gear in general. So in the beginning, you're going to want keys to get GRs done, and you're also going to need gear. So you go on a public game, go inside, go inside the rift and play. I'm going to talk more in depth about that later on. Okay, guys, so this is the build that I used to do speed GRs, either for gem ups or to get legendaries or to farm Forgotten Souls. This is just a regular Singularity Mages rat build with a couple differences. Um, a lot of people already run with Reaver, okay? But I'm using Squirt's Necklace instead of Haunted Visions, which doubles Simulacrum, okay? And the reason is that it's so fast and you kill so much stuff that Rivers just gets Simulacrum up all the time anyway. So you have 100% extra damage, which is extremely relevant. You can go this build up to GR 100 without realiness. It's a lot of damage that you're missing, and it really makes up for it. So I really don't do 100 though. It's not the purpose of this build here. I like doing 85, 90. Maybe I'm doing 94 sometimes, but you just want to go fast. That's what you want. You want to get as many legendaries as you can in as short a period as you can. So I'm gonna do 85 now. I usually do 90, but just to be safe, I don't want to have to do another recording. This is a crap map. Okay. Okay. You see this? This is something that it's good to. Oh, okay, yeah. A couple of tricks I did on the beginning of this GR already. Uh, it it's something really good for people to take note if you want to play with rats. When I clicked on the pylon, I usually either click on bone armor if it's available, or I click on the dash, or both. Because if you blood rush, you actually, for a short period of time, you can't get hit. So the enemies just come out swinging when they spawn from Nemesis on the pylon. And if you're playing rats, they're just gonna one-shot you. So you can click on Blood Rush or Bone Armor or both to not die, to stun them or just get out of the way, and it works very well. So that's just something to take note. These runs usually take, on average, 1 minute and 45 seconds or so. But I think the fastest I've done is like 1 minute and 10. And if it takes really long, like the most it took, it's probably 2 minutes and 10 seconds, something like that. But it's a very consistent build at doing GRs in less than 2 minutes. It's very consistent. You're pretty much always doing it in less than 2 minutes, which is very hard to do with most builds. So if you got a favorite build outside the macro and you want to do it, that's fine. You can probably do it. I mean, the Mox, very fast too. Whirlwind Zerker is the Barbarian, I'm sorry, yeah. It's very fast too, and it's gonna be better build now on the next season, so you can do that too. Okay, so this build was slow, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, because the maps were awful. Okay, and you can get like, I don't know, how many do you get? Like 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you get 10 legendaries in 2 minutes. You can really average less than 2 minutes. So it's 60. What? No, it's 100. 300 legendaries per hour, isn't it? Am I doing the math right? Oh my god. Okay, that's 10, 2 minutes. That's 100 times 3. Yeah, 300. Oh my god, that was terrible. Okay, yeah, 300. 300 legendaries per hour, and you also have a ton of blood shards, and you have some veiled crystals and forgotten souls, so it's very efficient at farming. Okay, and we started talking about any primals, and in the beginning of the season, and in any part of the season, what I want to tell you is like a ladder on getting an item. You have several methods of getting legendaries in Diablo. You have the most broad one, where you can get pretty much anything, which is killing enemies. Then you have less broader ones. Uh, After killing enemies, the next one is probably going to be Kadala. So you can roll slots. And what I would recommend you from Kadala is this. Um, Prioritize getting the pieces that cost 25 first. Um, and if you have a good one, don't just, unless you just really want it, but I would recommend you not just trying to get a perfect one. If you have like a good shoulders and it's not that good, but you have an awful bracers, just get a better bracers. It's gonna help you, and you're gonna get the better bracers eventually. Um, and the other thing I'm gonna tell you is commit. Like right now, all my characters have good gear, um, and of course I don't have a lot of perfect slots. I have some perfect slots. So now I just care about perfect gear. I really don't need like small upgrades. Like uh, the bad gear for me, like this is bad for me. Like this is a bad stuff. It's not bad, but this is what is bad for me. So I can just get gear that I want. Now I was rolling chest pieces because I really wanted a primal. Either Oculus for Thorns rolled well, which is very hard, or I wanted I forget the name of that one. This one, I wanted a good one. This rolled the minimum on secondary, but yeah. So commit. If you want a piece specifically, don't just lose focus. Okay, really go for that piece. Like you want a chest piece, only roll chest piece. Put that in your mind. You're that's your focus right now. You're just gonna do that. So roll that, and eventually you're gonna get it. Okay. Uh, and then the next, less broader method would be to upgrade rares. Okay. I don't think I have enough to. Yeah, I don't have enough to upgrade right now. Okay. So you want the chest. I would not recommend you like to upgrade like a chest piece in the beginning. I would tell you that now that you have been upping to more specific manners, you should be working on getting a good weapon. You're not gonna roll a weapon on Kadala because it's 75, but like if you want a sight on the Necro, you only have four different um, ancients. Legendary scythes. So you have a pretty much 25% chance of getting the scythe you need. And for me, this season, half of the scythes I actually wanted. I wanted this one, and I wanted the one for Thorns and for Lance. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. So you're just gonna get it, you know. So upgrade rares, focus on the weapon first, and then you have the ultra specific one. Yeah, you have the one that you can get the exact item. This is going to be the pain because nobody likes doing bounties. Yeah. Um. Okay. What did I do this season? I really didn't bother about bounties at the first part of the season. Uh, but I had a lot of forgotten souls after that. I think when I started doing bounties, I already had like 8,000 forgotten souls. So uh, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I have tried to get a specific primal for a very long time, um, and like I remember that there was a week where my whole priority for the week while I was playing the game was working towards that primal. and I farmed up. I don't know. I think it was like 15,000 F's breaths and 30,000 of each lesser material to upgrade rares, and I got like 500 of each or something like this. And I don't know, I think it was Monday. I got all the stuff farmed up, and okay, it's time to roll. And I just upgraded everything. I just used this recipe, and I used everything that took me an entire week to farm up, and I got nothing. I mean, literally nothing. I got no primals, and I got no good ancients. It was terrible. I mean, I don't know if you can imagine just working towards something for a week and getting nothing. It's I'm gonna give you a great advice. Okay, don't do that. You know why? Because if you work towards that so much, and it's such a low chance, um, you're just going to expect it because you've worked hard, and it would have been fair for you to get it. You know, so it's not worth it. If you don't get it, you're gonna get pissed, and you're going to get frustrated. And if you get it, uh, it's just you just kind of felt like you deserved it and you should have gotten it, so you're not gonna appreciate it that much. It's kind of a counterintuitive, because it should have been better if you worked for it, but it's kind of different in this game, because when you don't expect it and you get it, it's much better, man. I mean, you don't waste as much time, and since you weren't expecting it, it's such a big surprise that it makes it better. So I would recommend you not to do bounties for that long. I just say, yeah, it's bad odds, but eventually it is going to happen, and it's going to be much better. I mean, you're not going to be that frustrated, and you're going to do it a lot of times, and you're going to get it. I mean, instead of doing like 200 rerolls at once that took you forever to get, and risking not getting anything, just do like 10 or 50, and you're kind of, yeah, I'm not going to get it, but you're going to get it sometimes, and you're going to feel better, and you're not going to feel that terrible if you don't get it, because you're kind of expecting not get it. Uh, so that's something very important there, and I'm going to tell you. Uh, Remember when I said that it doesn't really matter if it's 1% or 0 point something percent. It's kind of like 50-50. You're either getting it or not getting it. If you don't try something, uh, it's not gonna happen. I mean, the difference between 0 and any number uh, after 0, it's infinity. Uh, I mean, this is something interesting. People don't look at really this way. If you want to be like a famous guitar player, people just think it's impossible. You're not going to be a famous guitar player. And like 0.0000% of uh, people who play the guitar get famous and whatever. But if you look at the other way, 100% of guitar players play the guitar. So if you don't even touch a fucking guitar and you don't know how to play a guitar, you're never gonna be famous. So no chance and any chance, it's a huge difference. And this is what you're gonna have to do in the game. And this is actually something that makes uh, amazing players at poker and things like that. You have to take advantage of lower odds, because if you take advantage every time, you're going to be rewarded sometimes. So one thing that I did uh, a lot this season is like every game or so that uh, I had like right now I had 50, just enough for one reroll, and I grabbed the sight on my chest, or I made one. Right now I don't have one, and I can't make one, and I just oh, whoops, okay, and I just went to the cube and I upgraded one. Only one. It's like it should be uh, I don't know 0.02% chance of getting of getting that, you know, and I got it two times. I just I mean, I tried it several times. That's what I said, remember? I did it several times. Not as many as you would think, but two times I upgraded only one item and I got a primal. And actually, one of the times I got the primal that I wanted, the other time I didn't. So that is very interesting. That's something that I recommend you doing, because if you try it and you don't get it, you're not it's not going to be bad. You're expecting not to get it, but sometimes you're going to get it. You know, that's very interesting. I'm going to run through a public rift for you guys so that I can give some tips and show you how I actually run these for getting more legendaries. I try to split up as much as I can, since you can cover more ground that way. Uh, so if I see somebody coming here, I'll go to the other side, or vice versa. And I would just keep my eyes open for legendary drops on the map outside of my view. I do that every time that I leave a room, and that actually made me get a couple primals this season that I would have missed if I hadn't checked the map. So, something else that's very important, at least in my opinion, in this rift, if you're looking for primals, is checking on chests. I actually got more primals on chests on the first half of the season than I've gotten on greater rifts. Um, and another thing to keep in mind about chests is that for some reason you don't have to be in the zone for loot to drop from that chest to you. So that means that if you were like on floor 1 and somebody opens a chest on floor 3, you might have a legendary or primal there. It's very weird. I don't know why that, but yeah, that's how it works. So keep that in mind. Sometimes you may open the map and see that you have a star on away from the map, or a set item, and you may want to skip it. But if that's from a chest, it might be more than one, because they tend to stack. So you might have 4 or even more. It's hard to get 5 legendaries from a chest outside of PTR, but I've seen it happen. And they stack, and you actually only see 1 star. So you might think you're skipping only 1 legendary when you're skipping 3, 4, 5. So yeah, keep that in mind. I don't know. It's debatable whether it's better to skip or not. You can make a case either way. Um, it's time you lose, you know. But let's say you find like 900 legendaries, and you decide to skip like these that you leave on the map. So you miss 20, and like you from the 900 you skip 20, and the 880 you get are bad. They are not ones you're looking for. And just don't like the feeling that maybe the one that I needed was on those 20. I actually got some good ones that I was thinking about skipping. So yeah, I prefer not to skip, but that's up to you. So this video is taking so long that, as you can see here, season has ended already. So I'm gonna try to finish it up already, and if needed, I'll do a second part another time. You guys let me know. But as far as getting specific items, I have, like I said before, the ladder on Kadala. You first try do less specific and go towards more specific. First thing I do is check if I have enough keys, and then I usually don't have enough Forgotten Souls like right now, and so I go to a GR and I run GRs like I showed you before, less than 2 minutes, and I try to get at least 3,000 Forgotten Souls, and then I go do some bounties. I try to do like 10 so that I have enough materials for like 40, 44, 45 reforges. And the good thing about bounties is that when you get all the 5 chests on a run, that is gonna net you 500 of each lesser mats. I don't remember. I don't think you get them the many veiled crystals, but you definitely get around 500 reusables and 500 arcane dusts. So I think for me that's the best way to farm them. I don't know if you have a better way. Please let me know, because as you can see, that's the problem for me. I have like almost 40,000 Death's Breath, but I always missing these. So 510 times, that's 5,000. So 5,000 it is 100 um, 100 upgrade rares. So you have 100 upgrade rares and 44, 45 reforges. So let's say that I want this site here, the Trugules. I just grab 100 sites, yellow sites. I go to the cube. I go on page 3, Hope of Cain, and I upgrade them all. And if I don't get them, if I don't get the item that I want, I just go and do Law of Ku. Just reforge, and if I don't get it, I just do it over again. Just keep doing it. I like I said before, I don't think it's worth just doing bounties for days and then not getting it. So if I feel like farming one day, I do that, and I just do 10 runs, and then I try it, and if I don't get it, I may try it again, or I try it another day. I actually got these gloves on Kadala. I'm gonna. It's not a perfect set of gloves, but it works. Um, I'm gonna tell you how I got each piece on my necro. That may help a little bit, give us some perspective on what came from where. So, like I said, these gloves I got on Kadala on my Barbarian. This weapon here was from an upgrade rare on site. I did a lot of those. I think I got 8 Primal sites. Um, this one actually rolled pretty good for Soul Thorns. This shoulder piece, it's actually pretty perfect too. I got it from a drop on a regular mob on a Nephilim Rift. So yeah, very lucky. Uh, this one here was from one of these upgrade rare reforge things that I said that I do. I did one. I did 10 runs, and then I came here, and I don't remember which other primal that I wanted, but I rolled 2. I rolled another primal that I got primal, and then I tried for belts, and I actually got these. So yeah, 2 primals I wanted just from one run, from like an hour of bounties. This one is actually a primal chess piece that I get every time. I got like 3 of those in season, I think. I don't know. The first one was probably from a regular drop on Nephilim Rift. This piece, oh man, this piece is something that I've been farming for probably 2 or 3 seasons, and I don't know. For some reason, man, I don't know. I don't know why I think it looks cool. I just really wanted it primal, and I wasn't able to find it. I rolled several times, uh, and I never got it. And then I think like 3 weeks ago or so, I was playing a witch doctor in a greater rift, and it naturally dropped. It had a poison uh, skill damage there, so I changed it to physical. But yeah, sometimes you just really get lucky. And this piece here was actually pretty funny. I was playing with a friend, and he just kind of bummed out, told me, "Oh man, I got the flavor of primal flavor of time again," and rolled bad again. And then he linked me, and I just, oh man, that's perfect for thorns, and I want it, and he gave it to me. So yeah, this nemesis actually was a gift as well. I was talking to another friend that I was looking for nemesis braces for a long time, and this is actually the first time I get a primal nemesis braces that I can use, and I never got one in any season. It's just amazing. I rolled it lots of times, and literally 5 minutes or so after I said that to him, he got this one. And since he didn't roll with crit damage, with I mean crit chance, or an elemental roll, he gave it to me. Uh, so yeah, this one. This one was probably my luckiest day in the game. Uh, I don't know. You guys are just not gonna believe me, but so I was just doing those runs that I just told you about. Do a set of 10. I think I did two, so it was like almost 100 reforges. I don't remember. I think it was 80 something. It wasn't 100. Okay. So the first thing I always did was roll my sights. So I rolled sights, and on the first one I get a primal cycle. First one, and okay, yeah, that's a good start. So I kept rolling sights because it was not a great primal. It was a better than I had. It was good, but it was not great. So I kept rolling, and I didn't get another sight. And then I just went on to reforges. Since I already had that primal sight, I went for another piece. So I went on rings, and I got primal Crispin sentence, like after the third roll. And that was just freaking amazing, man. I mean, two good primals within 5 minutes. And then I was just talking to a friend. I'm actually gonna post that video another time because I used my recording program to record the last 30 seconds. So I actually got the Crispins and the next piece I'm gonna talk about, but I didn't get the sight on video. So I got this, and I was celebrating and talking to my friend, and I just, okay, let's just try another ring because my rings were bad. So I rolled I rolled this. This was the next thing. Yeah, believe it or not, man, I got 3 good primals within 5 minutes. That that's just crazy, crazy. But yeah, okay, yeah. This Bone Ringer was just Kadala. It's just really easy to get a good secondary on the Necro because usually anyone would be good unless you're doing Thorns, and Thorns is dead now. So just getting a Primal phylactery is fairly easy for the Necro. So yeah. Another thing I would like to tell you is to take advantage of the Necro, even if you're not playing the Necromancer. Uh, if you want to get a good amulet, I think rolling in the Necro, it's uh, it's good because the Necro only has 3 elemental rotations. It has, like you see here, it has cold, poison, and physical. So if you are playing another class and you need an amulet with uh, elemental crit crit, you just do it on a Necro because you don't have lightning, you don't have fire. Like you want a cold one um, for a demon hunter, or you need a poison one for a witch doctor. Um, yeah, even a wizard. You want a cold one for the wizard. Yeah, just do it on the Necro. It's gonna save you from getting like those amulets that roll lightning, and lightning is like a terrible roll right now. So yep. Well, thank you if you managed to watch the whole thing. Uh, Thank you if you didn't watch the whole thing, but you managed to get good info or hear. If this was helpful to you at all, like the video. If you didn't like the video, just let me know why. I'll try to make it better next time. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll answer any questions you guys leave down. And if you need anything else that I didn't cover in the video, let me know. I'll probably have to do a second part of the video anyway. There was a lot of things that I could have said, but I think the most important things were said. And I hope next season you guys have a good time and get a lot of primals.